This is a little guide that I use to sharpen my, put the final bevel on my knives. It goes from 10 degrees to 45 degrees, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on. I'm going to sharpen this knife at 20 degrees. And if you want to change it, you just twist those and it adjusts. This slips on that 1x42 belt sander. Sits on like that. I start out with a 150 grit. I picked up this belt sander on Craigslist for $100. What I was making knives with in the beginning, or after I started using files, I was using that for a little while. And then I upgraded and built that one over there. I'm going to sharpen this knife here, put a 20 degree on it. With a razor sharp edge on it in about 5 minutes with this system. Maybe less than 5 minutes. Once you get the bevel started, it doesn't take much to get the wire down. Now I'm going to put a 600 grit on here. I've used these for a lot of knives. Knives I've sharpened with these belts, and they still go because you don't use them. So we're up to 600 grit. This is a trick that I learned on watching an actual cutlery. He would take his knife and actually just draw it gently across a piece of wood, and that would knock off any wire burr that's still laying there, that's bent over, whatever, and get down to a clean edge. This knife is really sharp right now. And all we did was just run it for a couple seconds actually on the belt. There we go. See, that's just 600 grit right there. But we're going to take it up higher. We're going to polish the edge with this leather belt. So now I take off the little jig. Put on a leather belt that I got from Sharpen. It has a little compound in it. Don't take very much compound. And then I'm going to strop it, power strop it. These are the same steps that you do when you're doing it by hand, but this is just a lot faster for someone like me that's making knives. I don't have 30 minutes or an hour to spend on each blade doing the bevel when I can do it in just a couple of minutes and get a bit of an edge. Alright, now this is really going to be sharp. There ain't nothing left there. I just took every hair right off. Hardly any pressure. I got this chunk of newspaper I got here out of the trash. See if it does any good. There's 2 of them there. Oh, yeah, sharp. Piece of paper. That's just minutes. Sharpen. I highly recommend if you have one of these to go ahead and get a leather belt and a couple of these finer grit ones to get it up where you can strap it with the belt. It's really sharp, fast.